If you look at what transpired yesterday, go to any level of media, whether the level of CNN, Nigerian local media, it's already everywhere. So, however I look at it, the world have been put on notice of what.
Yesterday was not off the mic. Yesterday they off the light, so that NNAMDI KANU will not further reading the document to expose the corruption in our judiciary. What do you have to say about that?
To be quite honest with you, Nnamdi Kanu is someone that is meticulous, someone that is articulate. Of course, it was seen yesterday the way and manner he made his point, and it is no longer a rumor or rather a news that Nigerian judiciary has questionable character, as in the Nigerian judicial system is questionable. But the point is, at what point you determine that the law is being fair? Because this is somebody who have even challenged the legal luminaries in Nigeria, including students of law, that they should come forward with any provision of the law, whether locally or internationally, where it is written that in the case involving him, in such case, the federal government can seek a stay of execution of a court judgment that will favor them. Do not forget that before now, Court of Appeal already ruled that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria, and as such, that the federal government have lost every right to prosecution. And the federal government went to seek for stay of execution, which was actually granted. But if you look at the nitty-gritty of issue involving Nnamdi Kanu, this is a man who is talking about self-determination. You understand that self-determination is a right already entrenched in UN Charter that has been ratified in Nigeria. So to that extent, it's a law in Nigerian legal jurisprudence. So if you come under the platform of self-determination, you have not offended any known law, whether locally or internationally. So to that extent, that is the reason you will not see federal government charging Nnamdi Kanu on anything that has to do with self-determination. Having said that, if you look at UN as a body that talks about arbitrary detention, that equally admonish and ask Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu. That advice Nigerian government have not actually paid attention to. So, looking at the manner they of the life, yes, you could say it's trying to unveil or rather to split the beans, but as it stands, we do not have so much detail in that regard in the public space. But it is a known fact that Justice Peter Anyanku's son is facing allegation of corruption. He has not yet been convicted, but Nnamdi Kanu may have some level of classified information, and it is best known to them the reason they off the light. They didn't allow him to go further to perhaps avail the public of what they needed to know in that regard.
Okay, two things NNAMDI KANU demanded yesterday. One, Justice Yanku to stay away from this case. She's not qualified to hand over this case because she felt that she did not come with I don't know how to put it. It's not qualified to hand over this case. Two, that they should move him to Southeast. That is not more comfortable in Kuje. Do you think that the federal government will grant NNAMDI KANU these two things he demanded?
Let me quickly address the first one that has to do with the woman recusing herself. You understand that the issue of recusal is a law. It's not about the opinion of the government. Let's get that very clear. Because once you say you lack confidence in the ability of a judge to dispense justice, the onus lies on the judiciary. Of course, this time around, the chief judge of Federal High Court to reassign the case to another judge. That is clear. But I think the point is, the reason, according to the judge, according to the, I think Justice Soho, the reason they returned the case file to Justice Peter Anyanku is, according to them, that the way and manner Nnamdi Kanu's legal team approached the issue, that they need to come in a proper manner. But however, it is within the right of Nnamdi Kanu to say that I no longer have confidence in the ability of her lordship, this time around, Justice Peter Anyanku, to dispense justice. All that have been conveyed and the proper thing have been done. It does not take the whims and caprices of the federal government to choose and pick whether they should actually allow the woman to continue the case or not. The way it stands, I think it's a right that the incumbent that Nnamdi Kanu has to determine whether the woman should continue giving yes, adjudicate, whether the woman should continue as the arbiter of the case. It is very clear. Then the second leg of your question that has to do with moving the case to Southeast. I think his negative made it very clear because this time around we are talking about jurisdiction. Most of the alleged offences, most of the alleged crime took place in the Southeast. And we understand that in issue of jurisdiction, it is proper to address it areas where the issue or rather the offence is alleged to have been committed. I think it's on that basis that his legal team are pushing. Since all the alleged offences were alleged by federal government to have been committed in the southeastern part of the country, let us move it to the southeastern part of the country where judicial will be actually situated. I think that's what they're asking for. But though that in itself is not absolute, but in fairness to issue of jurisdiction, I think they are right.
Yes, sir. If you watching how NNAMDI KANU display yesterday in the court, do you think that is going to cause more harm to this case? Because even the lawyers yesterday, they were trying to calm him down. Don't overspeak. You are still under detention. But he refused to the extent that he was telling his lawyers, keep quiet, don't ask me not to speak, don't speak when I'm speaking. Do you think that NNAMDI KANU is worsening things for himself?
You wouldn't see it from that angle because currently this is a man, they say there is a fair no for. Of course, we have been charged, and the point is, it's not about whether he is going to worsen his case. The point is, he has seen that there is problem in the system, there's injustice in the system, and at the point, his lawyers will not have that effrontery to speak or address those issues. I think himself is in a better position to address it. Of course, that was an opportunity for him to speak to the whole world, because you agree with me that it was done under the watchful eye of media, whether internationally or locally. If you look at what transpired yesterday, go to any level of media, whether the level of CNN, Nigerian local media, is already everywhere. So, however I look at it, the world has been put on notice of what is happening in Nigeria. And it's like to checkmate all the illegality happening in the system. So for me, I don't think it will in any way worsen the situation. But I still believe that a political solution to that quagmire is what we need at this point. Remember that the other time, the senator from the southeastern part of the country, under the leadership of NNAMDI, met with the Attorney General of the Federation to seek federal government understanding for the reason of NNAMDI KANU. Though NNAMDI KANU himself has said recently that nobody should go and beg on his behalf, but the point is, the revelation that came from NNAMDI recently showed that the Attorney General of the Federation is of the view that NNAMDI KANU should be released. Don't forget that Senator NNAMDI recently advised Mr. President to toe the advice of the Attorney General of the Federation. Though at the level of that conversation, the public were not in the know of what actually transpired. But going to the fact that NNAMDI himself came out to admonish the president to toe the advice of the Attorney General of the Federation, it's going to show that while they had that conversation, the Attorney General of the Federation was of the view that NNAMDI KANU should be released. So for me, I do not see that is abuse in any way to worsen his travel.
Yeah, Mr. Yes, my viewers, thank you. This evening, yes, we are here again. Let's discuss about the issue of Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of PDP, of him visiting Olusegun Obasanjo Aremu at Ota. Yes, of course, politics have started again. 2027, they are here again. This is to tell you that Nigeria politicians does not have the interest of the masses. All they are after is how to get that position, whether to be a president, to be a governor, or to be whichever position they are aiming at. Yes, of course, one would say after fighting so many years, Atiku Abubakar will have just given it up on this ambition of becoming a president and look for somebody to support instead of him running up and down to become a president in 2027. Yes, of course, he went to go and see his former boss, the Olusegun Obasanjo Aremu, to seek his endorsement again in 2027 election. The bottom line now is that is Atiku the solution to what Nigeria is facing now? Viewers that are watching this video, for me, the answer to me, Atiku is not the options, it's not the answer.
Atiku is not the answer. Don't forget that this is how we face, what we faced in 2015 compared to what we are facing now was not like this during the time of President Jonathan, when they brought the Fulani president, former President Buhari, say he's going to be the Messiah. He's going to be the man that will help Nigeria out of that economy. That time that Nigeria was one of the best economy in Africa, doing well. As I speak to you, in 2015, the numbers of Nigerians that are leaving Nigeria soil today to travel to abroad to seek for greener pasture. Before 2015, you hardly see 10% or 5% of this population that are moving daily out of Nigeria, thinking of getting out of Nigeria. Yes, of course, they brought Buhari in, and Buhari came to mess everything. I know that time some of my friends were telling me, Buhari is a good man. Buhari has prepared for this job. Buhari has been fighting to be a president. Let us give him chance. If we give him chance, he will do Nigeria better. And I keep telling my people then that Buhari does not have anything to offer. But look at how Buhari wasted our 8 years for us. Now he handed over it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Look at what Tinubu is doing. Now Atiku is running up and down. He wants to become a president now. Atiku being a president, how will he make Nigeria youth to be more productive? As I speak to you right now, in Nigeria today, there is no work for Nigeria youth. All what Nigeria do now, average Nigeria youth now, is to do Yahoo Yahoo, to do 419. Because Nigeria government refused to do the needful to provide work for this youth in the streets. Roaming up and down, doing criminality up and down. Why? Because they are looking they are looking to get to provide a meal for their parents too, who have labor sent them to schools. So for me, Atiku Abubakar should just go and sit down. If Atiku Abubakar have a good plan for Nigeria, we will have expected him to go and meet President Olusegun Obasanjo, former president. Baba Tinubu has been a disaster to Nigerians. Let's look for a vibrant alternative. I have dropped my ambition to be a president of Nigeria. Let's look for a young man. Let's look for a capable man who we can support and make a Nigeria a better place to be. Yes, I will agree with you that Atiku Abubakar is serious. But for Atiku Abubakar at this his age, to still be thinking to be a president in 2027, the answer is what? Foul.